once the Fed turns for one last time, I believe, and it might not sound rational, but I think it is very rational that one night, somewhere in Asia, there's going to be some kind of, breakage in the system, and gold and silver, or, maybe on the Shanghai exchange. I'm just making, I don't know exactly where, but somewhere is going to go up like $500-600 a night, and then a bunch of nervous people, as they see their stock portfolios tank, they're going to go to gold and silver in any way they can, and then you're not going to be able to get any. If you remember March 2020, I remember it very clearly. Like I went to coin shops and I'm like, okay, this is it. So I'm going to make a big order now, while silver is at like $12 or whatever, and I made a big order, and it said, well, you only get your order in like 6 months. so so imagine that, but like 10 times worse. You only get your order in what, 5 or 6 years? What's that? What good's that going to do to you? Everyone's going to attack at the same time. We saw it in Silver Squeeze, that one day where there was there was some kind of panic, and we don't know exactly what caused it, but everyone went to silver. Even people that weren't silverbacks, they just decided, okay, I'm going to just buy silver because it's wired into us. We evolved in a monetary economy by using these things. We are programmed to see gold and silver as the money. So when there is a panic, that is where people go. Not even because they're thinking about it. That's just because that's what they do. So if you want to have any, do it before the rush, because once the rush happens, you're not getting any. Commodities go where you get paid most for them, or any product goes for where the price is highest, which is why certain areas bid up prices of whatever, because they want more of it. So right now the prices are high in the physical stacker markets, in coins, because the premiums for a coin, for 90% silver, for junk silver, I think is still around 45%, and they've come down from about 50 since I guess a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. But it's still higher than 2008, the peak of the 2008 financial crisis. I think wherever the market, and by the market I mean the public, I mean the people that don't understand, people that do not understand monetary economics at all, they're just trying to save themselves. Those are the people that are going to lead the revolution. Because what are they going to do? They're going to be the ones that dump currency in the streets to get whatever they can on the most basic level: food, shelter, basic necessities. They're going to be spending just, in the local strip malls or whatever they are. That's what's going to lead to a monetary reset, not anything from the BRICS. And when the dollar collapses, or when it's very close to collapse, it's very possible that the BRICS could read the writing on the wall and say, look, gold and silver are going crazy. We're having these reports of people trading coins, in back alleys or whatever to get their basic necessities. So we may as well move to a gold and silver currency now and take the rest of the dollar out, and we'll take credit for it. If gold and silver are headed back up for the longer term, for, let's say, this is a several month trend, or even several year trend, if we last that long in this monetary system, I don't think we will. But if we're on a trend, what's going to happen with the supply? Is it going to stay? Is it going to go higher, or is it going to stay lower? Meaning, are the stackers going to keep bidding up the physical prices so that the supply goes out of the big collections in New York and goes to the little tiny stacker vaults wherever they are in the world? So I'm looking at I'm interested to see where the supply goes now. And so far, it hasn't gone up as gold and silver have risen over the past 2 weeks. There's still drains coming out, slower, but it's still happening. So I want to see that continue, and that means that the stackers are not, selling or trying to make a buck. They just keep buying. That's what I want to see. Well, we'll see if that's true. We don't know yet. In 2008, the Fed didn't have its fingers on the monetary triggers ready to shoot when the next collapse happened. So I don't think something like that's going to happen again, where a money market just implodes and the Fed doesn't print the money immediately to reinflate it. I think that there won't be any more nominal collapses like that. At least I think the next collapse is going to be when everything that's been puffed up since 2008 and even before collapses again, they're just going to puff everything up, and then the units of what they're puffing it with aren't going to be worth anything. And that's when gold and silver are really going to shine, and the entire inflated pyramid gets hollowed out. So that it's like you can go back to Egyptian civilization. They build pyramids to their kings, they fill them with gold and silver. People come and rob them, and now they're a bunch of empty pyramids. So that was one of the first civilizations, and it's going to happen now. We build our giant financial pyramids, and then they get raided. I guess the gold and silver stackers are the pyramid raiders. You could call us that. We just don't want to be stuck in the pyramid. Every currency that's ever collapsed, you see it's the same curve. It's the same curve. It's the exponential curve, and they try to get off of it. Every now and then, and when they try to get off of it, you have a financial collapse, and you got to go right back on the curve. So you just it's the same with the money supply now. The money supply is now it's now slowing down, right? There's no more expansion in the money supply, at least not since April, May, or something like that. So a pyramid that survives by growing and growing and growing, when you stop growing, then the pyramid will fall over eventually, very soon, and then they'll have to print again. So what's the Fed doing? What is the Fed doing that caused the 2008 financial collapse? They stopped printing, and then there was a collapse. So what are they doing now? They have basically stopped printing, and it's going to cause another collapse. And when it does, they're going to go vertical again. And so the question is, how vertical are they going to go? Because people in 2008 thought that was vertical, but it wasn't. In 2020, I thought maybe this is it. Is this it? It started to go vertical and then it stopped again. Is this one going to be it? I think it will be when the entire pyramid falls over, right? There's going to be something left. Human civilization is not going to end. I'm not that much of a pessimist. In that I am the end game investor, insofar as that is my calling card or whatever you want to call it. That's me being optimistic. Because the worst thing that I could envision is this system continuing for years on end as the middle class gets poorer and poorer and poorer and devolves into eating bugs, which is clearly the direction that they want us to go in. And I hope we don't take it. And I hope there's enough people that rebel to not take it. So the question is, what is going to be left when this thing falls over? The things on the top, the derivatives of the derivatives of the derivatives, they're not going to be there. They're going to be valueless. But the dollar itself is a derivative because it derives its value from money.